buy some armor and live to tell about it.
So what now? That depends, my thane, on who you are stealing from. I have heard tales of dashing rogues who steal from the rich and give to the poor. But I don't think Brynjolf is that sort of thief.
Hello, bully.
Still, perhaps my thane will entertain a thought from his companion before he resorts to crime.
Why didn't you then?
When I was young, my parents would give me and my sister gold to buy goods from the trader, back when it was run by Lucan's father. Of course, as young girls with healthy imaginations, we had no intention of simply buying the goods. One of us would try and steal the items, while the other would sneak the gold into the old man Valerius' pocket. The old man would play along and pretend he couldn't see us crouched to the ground, scattling around behind him.
Go away.
He called us grey foxes. We truly were as thick as thieves. In any case, I was thinking, if the Thieves Guild asks you to steal from someone, maybe we could do the same.
I don't have any. Buy some armor and live to tell about it. Very well. Just try and clean yourself up.
Fresh meats and produce. Get them before they're gone.
Maybe I am, but the Zora of my childhood was not. We can help the townsfolk and the guild, although I'd rather we just helped one. But if my Jarl is insistent on joining the guild, this way everyone wins, and no one has to know why. It will be our little secret. Two hands are better than one.
No matter what happens, the gods will always be grateful for everything.
Hey, watch it!
I didn't make it across the Gerald Mountains. I ended up following someone back across the border, but I lost her tracks the night they came. I'm sorry, I'd like some time alone. Zora asked about the man I traveled with. She thought he was a lover. He was a mercenary. Fire burns so hot, but it feels so empty. I wish I didn't need it, but living out in the wilderness, you don't have a choice. Do you think it will snow in Riverwood this winter? Zora says I should join the college. I don't know. This town, it never changes. I still feel like everyone is watching me. Maybe I should change clothes.
Greetings.
The witches believe in the old magic. Blood is potent, and the gods demand sacrifice. In a potion, tundra cotton can make fire burn hotter and flesh stronger. My sister and I, the gods toy with us all. Some sisters would ask that I no longer practice witchcraft, but Zora knows I'm not a child. Zora and I used to wash our feet in the White River and watch the clouds over the bleak falls. The view is the same as it ever was. Can I truly move on, living in Riverwood? I'm not so sure. Do you need something? Marigoth, that coven, they did horrible things. It was a mistake to join them. Greetings. Hello. Thank you for the other day.
My thane, can you come here? I want to ask you a question.
We got rooms and food. Drink, too. I cook. Ain't much hell.
Greetings.
Still here. Alright. Ready to move? I'll be home if you need me.
Let's go.
Something on your mind?
Yeah? Well, that's a problem, friend. Seeing as I'm following you for a reason. Rather not have to think about where I'm going, if that's okay with you. But, if you want my advice, I'm a this way or that way guy. I just flip a coin, or a bandit, and let it make heads or tails of the situation. Oh, I'm sure there's one close enough. Just jingle your coin purse and they'll come like a bear to honey. Just leave me all the food. You sure? Well, alright. Probably time I head on somewhere else. Never know where my stomach will take me.
Well met. You have my steel.
The road to many places, but sometimes it's best to pave your own.
I'll get you next time. You'll see.
Daraki sometimes still looks at the steps. Not with bafflement.
Here for work? Get
But
an
with
axe and bring
wonder.
me all the wood you can chop.
I guess 43 out of 44 races ain't bad. I'm practically perfect.
Keep an eye out for wolves if you're headed up the path to High Hrothgar. Enjoying the hospitalities of the inn. Suggest you do the same. Until next time.
Ever since I've been working on my sprinting. That's why I lost, you know. I've always been more of a long-distance runner.
Now that our ghost has been unmasked, I hope we see more visitors in town than just the occasional pilgrim. Here, take a look at this for details. If you pass through again, stop by for a drink.
A fine day to you, friend. May you die with a sword in your hands.
What do you need? What do you need? Friend, I didn't expect to see you here. I was ready to go that way, too, on account of this bandit I flipped landing tail side up. That way is that way. Plain as day, friend. Well, it ain't Horkers if that's what you're thinking. It's true what they say. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. So, me and Horker Stew are taking a break. No, I'm here because some pie-eating gargoyle's spreading rumors about me that I ain't a real champion. This sod's telling everyone and anyone that all the real fighters died in the Great War. Seems to me that don't make a skeever's lick of sense. If the best techniques are the ones that survive, the same goes for the fighters. And maybe some of them got old, but the ones that stuck around, I killed. You must be crazy if you think a few words are going to make this Durzog play nice, friend. No. The only way to stop this hound is to make him play dead. I tried. Damn innkeepers only keep their ears open for bounty work. And if he was in Riften, there would have been no escaping me. Seeing as Tamriel's a pretty big place, he could be anywhere. I suppose I'd have just as much luck finding him if I tagged along with you. You've got a little too much help with you, friend. Wouldn't want to swing and hit your companion. Lose the weight and we'll talk. All right, then.
Still here.
An arrow to the knee?
Come on in.
Something on your mind?
It has plenty of strong drink and clean...
My favorite drinking buddy. Let's get some mead.
Unlike my husband Clepper, I watch after our guests.
What was that you said, this wife of mine?
Yes?
My father, Klepper, is the one you want to talk to. I just clean up.
Thank you again for resolving my problem.
Yeah? Well, if it isn't my old companion. How many people have you killed since we last met? Hundreds? Thousands? Keep at it, friend, and someday you might even reach my count, if I start to get lazy. Likewise, friend. Likewise. Small world running into you like this. Although, this city's so big, it might just take up half of it. These dwarves do have a knack for making awe-inspiring structures. Reminds me of the arena. Reminds me of home. Then later, I remembered there was an entire city made out of dwarven ruins. Seemed like just the place for a guy like me to be. But, I think I'm ready to start adventuring again, if you're game. Look what the tide brought in. And is that the diamond of Riverwood behind you?
It's good to see you too, Gar. The sleeping chanting is not the same without you there to wake it up.
Maybe. But I bet Orknar enjoys the peace and quiet. Of course, with all three of us gone, I imagine that place ain't much different from a morgue. That poor fellow never did know which way was right side up. Reminds me of a bandit or two I flipped on the way here.
See, Riverwood is far more lively with you around. Everyone still asks about you, even people from out of town.
All good things, I hope.
Of course.
Unlike my husband Clepper, I watch after our guests.
Calling you, oh, I forget. It was something furry.
Nothing, you pig-headed oaf.
Help me out, my hero. What is brown and furry and walks on all fours? I do as well, but it was not such a large animal. It was a type of dog, but I can't recall what.
Now you just tell me if you need something.
I know back in the arena, I started out as a pit dog. But I haven't been one of those for ages.
That's it! He kept calling you a pit dog, which doesn't make much sense. If anything, you're a hawker.
If I was a hawker, I reckon that would make me a cannibal. But I wouldn't mind meeting this stranger and seeing if maybe a warhammer to the chest can't change his opinion. As a matter of fact, I think I do. Sounds to me this is the same lowlife who's been spreading lies about me in the Rift. I'm pretty sure it's connected to this underground arena I've been hearing about. They wanted me to join, being a former gladiator and all, but I passed on their offer, as it seemed a little fishy at the time. That's when I started hearing all these rumors.
Why do you think it was a setup? Wouldn't they want a famous gladiator to be a part of the arena?
At first, maybe. Just to bring in the crowds. But I ain't exactly what you call an entertaining fighter. Most of my fights end pretty quick, and I don't play to the crowd. The only thing I got is my name and my record. In all my time in the Imperial City, I ain't never lost a fight. So, if I lose in this arena, It'll give them something the folks in Cyrodiil ain't never seen. My death. The only question now is where to find these people, and wash my name out of their mouths.
Well, the person I talked to was headed towards Whiterun. I thought about following him as he was very suspicious, but then Yaramir came yelling up behind him asking if he wanted his robes washed.
Then we ought to head to the Bannered Mare. You should lead the way, lest my stomach take us to Lake Yogrim.
My father, Klepper, is the one you want to talk to. I just clean up.
I'm sorry, my hero, but you have someone with you. And out on the road it can get quite crowded.
You escaped Sidna Mine with Madanach? Everyone in the Warrens has been praising your name.
What do you need?
Come on in. Let me know if you need anything, or take a seat by the fire and I'll send someone over.
An inn. Where are we sleeping? And more importantly, what are we eating?
Yes. Hello there, stranger. What can Jashar do for you?
Jashar, don't tell me you're the fiend who's been spreading these lies.
Good. So you are in Skyrim after all. Jashar would ask you to sit down, but there is not enough room for one of your size. Not to mention, it would be rude to your lady friend.
You didn't answer my question, Furball. What's all this business about me being a pit dog, hmm?
You misunderstand, Jashar. It is a term of endearment. We started out as pit dogs, and it is a reminder of how far we have come.
I never did understand half of what you were saying. Leave it to me to overreact. What brings you to Skyrim? I'm going to take a wild guess and say it ain't the Horkers.
Is that why you're here? By the moons, you never change. Jashar assumed you were here for the same reason as he. For this new underground arena.
Don't tell me you left the Imperial City to fight in some basement. There won't be half the coin or glory fighting in this arena, friend.
It is not Jashar's choice. He ran into much trouble with the Blade Master. There were accusations of gambling, bribery, and throwing fights. You know Jashar to be a cat of integrity, but this Blade Master had an agenda. In any case, this new arena, they are willing to look past Jashar's previous transgressions. It is fledgling, but it has promise. It just needs more fighters like yourself to join the ranks.
Sorry, old friend. My arena days are over. And from the sound of it, this ain't much of an arena so much as it is a pit fight. Besides, I don't like it. Something seems fishy about the whole deal. That may work for you, given you know all the angles, but not me.
That is unfortunate. But Jashar knows better than to argue with you. Perhaps, though, you will do him a favor and watch his first match. Jashar is a stranger in these lands, and he will be more comfortable if he knows he is amongst friends.
I, for one, would love to come. An underground arena match? That sounds exciting, my heroes.
Well, I suppose there ain't no harm in just watching. Besides, it's been a long time since I've seen an arena match that didn't end in one swing.
Yeah, Jashar always did like to take his time. That is why he is a crowd favorite. So, if it pleases you, he will mark the location of his next fight on the map. It changes from week to week, you see. They say the fights are held in cages, in barracks, on islands and in cellars. As crowds are thin, it is dependent on a handful of sponsors. Soon, as the coin flows and the crowds grow, there will be enough to build an arena to rival Cyrodiil's. But for Jashar, this will have to do.
Then it's settled. The three of us will come to cheer you on. I love happy endings. Codlick is happy. Ayla is happy. And my Thane can now choose his own destiny. This is a cause for celebration. And what better place to hold a party than the patio behind the Yorvasker? I will be in charge of planning, of course. Are you sure? I don't feel sad. I was at first, but knowing that Codlick is in Sovngarde fills me with hope. But I admit, maybe I just want an excuse to throw a party. Imagine the music and the dancing and the flower arrangements. I hope you reconsider.
Whiterun. If I never saw Dragon's Reach again, it'd be too soon.
Of them. I always wondered what it would be like to fight in an arena. I can just imagine the roar of the crowd and the adoring fans. it would be for the right reasons.
Don't sell yourself short, Princess. I'd imagine you'd make it to at least a Myrmidon. And even then, it'd probably be the bribes that filled you, depending on whether or not you took them.
Well, that depends on what they are bribing me with. A beautiful dress might be worth losing an arm for.
I'd how military men can fight in these forts. You need open space to swing a warhammer.
Hey there, check out what my friend and I found. I'll sell some of it to you if you want. I found them near the old Dwemer Bridge in the far west. I'll mark it down for you on your map, for a small fee. Thank you. You'll find the ruins right here. Take a look. Take a look. Until next time. Hi there. Need something?
Yes. You've made it. Wonderful. Jashar will have at least 3 voices to rally him when he is struggling. This way.
I will try to be as loud as 10 men. I suspect Gar will have little trouble doing the same.
Just make sure you give us something to cheer about, friend. What's all this about, friend? I don't like where those arrows are pointed.
Sorry. This was the only way. But in the end, you will all thank him.
If you think a handful of archers can stop us, Jashar, then you've completely lost your mind.
But Jashar knows all the angles. He knows that an innocent pat on the back can carry with it a needle of poison. In fact, it should be taking effect right about now. The archers, they are only here to buy it more time. You're up. Good. Jashar was worried the poison might have been too much, considering it was made for that mammoth of a Redguard. The Redguard fights in the pit as we speak. He will no doubt crush the poor sap that is up against him. We must hurry if we are to watch. The girl has her own match, but somewhere else. They will take us to her when our match is done. You will notice you have all your belongings. This is to prove to you Jashar did not poison you out of malice. In his prime, our friend was a great arena fighter. Few can last so long without playing the politics. If not for his strange affinity for lesser creatures, he would have been Grand Champion. Of course, the bigger the title, the more adept one must be outside the arena. His choice to leave may have saved his life. Here, in the pits, I do the politics and keep us all safe. There is our gladiator now. Jashar prefers this environment to the arena. It is far more intimate.
Jashar, you bloody snake. As soon as I'm done with this one, I'm gonna drive you through the stone.
Do you not see Jashar is on your side? But we'll see how angry you are when your pockets are overflowing with gold. Now, this is when Jashar's hard work pays off. Jashar has spent many moments and the drinker of milk. Even a victory today will seem like a fluke against a weak opponent. We'll have good action for a few more fights before your opinion sways.
Except there ain't no more fights.
Come on, he's not so tough
now, are you?
Fight back!
If you dislike gold that much, it cannot be helped. But here is your share. 500 septims. However, your friend and the girl are committed to at least one more fight. Bowing out now will cost us all that, and more.
Zora, what have you done with her?
Nothing. It was a poor choice of words. The girl is not a prisoner, no more than you. She has her own fight, but Jashar could not risk the three of you strong-arming your way out of here. He has debts to pay.
If she's lost a hair on her head, you hear me? One hair, and God's as my witness, I'll shove your tail so far down your mouth, you'll have two on the other end.
Do not worry. Jashar would not cross you. Nor does he want to be called Two-Tails. In fact, as a measure of good faith, your companion and I are fighting together. And, as fortune would have it, our opponents are favored 3-1. Would you like to place a wager on yourself? You can bet up to 500 gold. That comes to a return of 1,200 septims. It would be foolish not to, unless you plan on leaving your gold to your kin. After all, the pit is no place for thieves. The wishes of the dead are respected here. That is a shame. But this will provide Jashar a full share of the profits, so he is not unhappy with this development. You are quite generous to let Jashar keep all of the profits. He must buy you a drink when it is time to celebrate.
Jashar? It looks like your match has gotten pushed back. Your dance partner got a case of the brain rot and fled.
How unfortunate. What does this mean for Jashar's bets?
You've got Nocturnal's luck, Cat. Different pair, but the same odds. The crowd doesn't think much of your chances. In fact, not a single patron has come to complain. Seems like they weren't betting on them so much as they're betting against you.
Alas, Jashar's reputation precedes himself. It will likely be another hour or so before the fight begins. Do not worry. This is all going according to plan. Jashar suggests the two of you grab a drink and mingle. When the others arrive, the fair lady will let you know.
Sorry I dragged you and Zora into this, friend. Jashar's the type who thinks he's doing what's best for everyone, when it's really only good for him. That's why it's best you do the thinking. I was gonna suggest we kill every last one of them, and figure it out from there. Funny thing is, Zora would probably be safer doing it Jashar's way than mine. Good luck.
So, you're the poor sod they teamed up with Jashar, huh? I almost feel sorry for you. That cat's got 9 lives, and he's gonna need them all in the pit. Of course, seeing as you only got 1, you better be damn good, or damn slippery, if you want to survive. You took the words right out of everybody's mouth, because pretty much everyone thinks they're the best. Right up until the point where it's their blood that is splattered on the wall. A fighter like you. But I've been known to do some recruiting, if the prize is right. See, in every arena you got your wolves, and you got your dogs. The wolves are like your Red Guard friend. They draw the crowd. Now, the dogs are different. They don't have the sharpest fangs, or the thickest hides, but they make up for it with grit. When a wolf takes a bite out of you, it rips away a chunk of flesh. When a dog sinks its teeth into you, it never lets go. In the pit, that's what makes for a good show. And I got a keen eye for dogs. Nobody does, least of all him. I'm guessing that's why he worked so hard to get his opponent replaced. The fair lady will tell you that they lost their backbone, but what she won't tell you is how. You see, when we found out that the fight was going to be here, I overheard Jashar muttering to himself about the blood on the walls and the cage. So I paid the fair lady for some information, and it turns out that your previous cage partners were vampires. Sure, it crossed my mind, but you haven't seen him fight. I'd say half the blood in his cage is his. In fact, that's how he's managed to survive. There was so much blood on the ground that the Nord he was fighting slipped, fell, and broke his back. He may try and get an edge, but as the lady says, in the cage, fair's fair. So, I pay. I don't think Jashar is the type who takes his partner's opinion into account. Don't think he'd hesitate to use you as a shield either. But on the other hand, maybe you're more useful to him alive. The cat's got connections, knows all the right people to snuff out the bad fires. In fact, there was an Argonian here the day before the bloodsuckers vanished, stuck out like a glowing mushroom. Jashar's work, no doubt. So, I don't know. You'd have to ask him. Could be the chance of infection was high, and this ain't exactly the place for a potion or a priest. The point is, he wanted things changed, so he changed them. Must have had something to do with that Argonian that was here the other day. This one was stiff as a poker, and clearly out of his element. We would have made him for a Jarl's man, if it weren't a bloody lizard. But as soon as he vanished, so did our blood-sucking friends. Not a coincidence, if you ask me. Or drive them into a frenzy. Are you willing to risk that chance? Jashar wasn't. The rumor is the cat's got connections. Knows all the right people to snuff out all the bad fires. In fact, there was an Argonian here the day before the bloodsuckers vanished, stuck out like a glowing mushroom. Jashar's work, no doubt.
Yes.
Huh? Yeah.
So, you're one of Jashar's friends? Or should I say, friend, seeing as you'd be the first. They call me the Fair Lady. What can I do for you? I'm sorry, but there ain't enough coin in your pocket to make me answer that. That's right. It's the best way to operate outside the law. You stay in one place, and one day even a drunken lout will stumble upon it. The Jarl's men ain't much smarter than that, but that makes them smart enough. That's why we rarely use this place. Oh, save for special matches, like with your friend there. Most days I'm working in some dirty cellar, sitting on a stool with more splinters than hairs on me head. But I'll take a few needles in the rear if it keeps us out of trouble. Fair's fair. 50 gold ought to do it. Don't look so surprised now. Information costs money. Fair's fair. A pleasure doing business, stranger. As for what I know, your previous opponents were a tough drawer. At least, I could tell as much by the way Jashar's ears cringed. This new pair, though, nobody knows what to make of them. 2 foreigners from Hammerfell. You know, the ones that got them funny swords and even funnier robes. If nothing else, it'll make for a good show. Because I'll handle the gold. When you win, I pay. And when you lose, I don't. Fair's fair. I ain't one to say no to flattery, but you'll have more luck working the fans, Holgear. I'm too old to play anyone's fury. Because I'll handle the gold. If they do, Thorn will make sure every part of them gets crooked. Ain't that right, Thorn?
Yep.
Because I'll handle the gold. Ain't nothing unfair about charging for a service. You just try and make a wager with some of these lowlifes, and see how many are good for it. The nobles are even worse. We keep the books, same as any business, so there ain't no confusion about who owes what. Because I'll handle the gold. Didn't figure you for a posh one, but we get all tights in here. The lady part ain't a title. It's because I got lady parts. I do more than handle them. I set the odds. Now, you might be thinking, what's this old hag know about fighters? Not a sodding thing. But it ain't my job to pick the winners. It's to set the odds. And to do that, you have to know the betters. Not the overgrown oafs they're betting on. Every fight's got their bride and their groom. If I set the odds right, then you've got an equal number of folks on both sides of the aisle. You got too many on one side, you change the odds so the rest of the patrons sit on the other. That's the only way to guarantee we come out ahead. It doesn't matter which fighter wins, because we get a piece of every winning bet. We don't take a cut from the fighters. It don't make much sense, seeing as the two of you can wager against each other. Of course you might not get the same odds. That's why we handle the wagers. Fair's fair. I don't know about you, but Jashar's got a reputation. I'd wager it's all a sham. but it ain't my business if the patrons want to believe it. He's always doing some sort of grooming exercise, like licking his fur or straightening his whiskers. People see that, and they see a milk drinker. They'll risk 100 gold to win 30, because that's how little they think of him. Same as any chambermaid, tavern wench or jarl. You grow up in it. My dad was a gambler. He liked to bet on wolves, not men. Different animals, same rules. Some win, some lose. Fair's fair. Fair's fair. It would be just like him to bet against himself. But he did put it on the both of you to win. Then you're in luck. It looks like our friends from Hammerfell have arrived. Last call for bets. 3-1 for Jishar and the New Blood. 2-7 for the warriors from Hammerfell.
Those two have no idea what they're in for. Be waiting for you at the victory table, friend.
Do not worry. Jishar has crossed blades with this type many times. Fortune smiles upon us both. Ready yourself. There is no announcer here. The battle begins when the weapons are drawn.
Never should have come.
Come on! Keep on to fight back! So, you live to see another day, Cat?
It was a lucky win for Jishar. His partner did all of the work. Jishar is very pleased with his victory. He will put this gold to good use. You and Jishar make for an excellent team. This could be the beginning of a very profitable relationship. Unfortunately, Jishar still has business here, but you will find your friend to the north, at the peak of the Sky Temple ruins. Trust Jishar when he tells you. She is safe.
This ain't over, Cat. Seems to me there's only one of two outcomes. Either Zora's safe, and I beat you bloody, or she ain't, and I beat you dead.
Jishar still hopes you'll choose a third option, but he understands. He will take his beating when you return.
Damn. As much as I hate to admit it, that pot of Khajiit stew will have to wait. Let's go to those ruins and see if we can't even the odds. Then we got the same feeling, and it ain't gonna go away until we get to those ruins. I know the little diamond can take care of herself, but that don't make it any easier to be here when she's there. So come on. Hopefully, we can make it back here in time for dinner.
Yes. Until next we meet.
champion, friend. Fighting with Jashar is like fighting with one hand tied behind your back. But you still got it done.
Forsworn will reclaim what is rightfully ours!
You've done...
You remind me of my cat. Kill that.
Don't worry, Princess. The cavalry's here.
My hero, Gore! I knew the two of you would come.
Come on, he's not so tough! Get him!
And here I was, feeling guilty for taking your kills. I don't think I'll ever understand you, Princess.
You wouldn't be the best.
I guess it don't make much difference now. But how did you get here?
Well, I remember waking up in a sack and hearing your gadget friend arguing with someone over a prize. The other person asked how fresh the corpse was, and he said very fresh. Too fresh, apparently, seeing as I was still alive. Then I went back to sleep. The next time I woke up, I was on the table over there, much to the surprise of everyone. that what happened? Here I thought these men were fighting for my affections. Although it does explain the sack. I am rather hurt. But as I have made a living out of disappointed necromancers, I suppose all's fair. And by the way, it is so typical of you to forget this Khajiit cannot be trusted. It must be because of the fur. You confused him with a kitten.
Usually I don't have to remember. I just kill the people who cross me. But Jashar and I never were on opposite ends of a battle. In the pit, or outside of it. It being Kesmet and all.
Do you see I'm hard to understand?
So, what's our next move? Like I said, unless we kill this cat soon, I'll probably end up forgetting the whole thing. We need to boil this son of a Daedrith while my blood's still simmering. But it's not like you'll be waiting for us at the pits. Yeah, I noticed you talking to him earlier. Might be a good place to start. Jashar made a lot of enemies back in the arena, and it's likely he's kept old habits in the pit. Whether it's the elf or someone else, we go back there, I'm sure you'll find someone with a bone to pick. It wasn't much of an arena, more like a cellar with more blood than wine.
But you like blood and you hate wine.
I guess it wasn't so bad. Nothing like traveling on the road with good company. I'm glad we met, friend. Sure. Well, alright. Probably time I head on somewhere else. Never know where my stomach will take me. Let's go. Just leave me all the food. I don't get how military men can fight in ports. You need open space to swing a warhammer.
Didn't expect to see you two back here. Or is it 3 now? Ah yes, the cat. Everybody wants to know where the cat is. But not everybody is willing to pay the toll. Of course, as much as I despise the cat, I ain't the sort to go squealing on a pitmate. At least, not for anything less than 1,000 gold. You're better off asking the lady. She'll give you a fair deal.
Yeah.
Well, the information I've got may not be worth a wooden septim. But that doesn't mean I'll sell it for less than 200 gold ones. Well, aren't you the cute one? 200 septims. Now, that wasn't so hard, was it? All right, I'll tell you what I know. Fair's fair. There was a name written on the back of one of his betting slips. Now, I don't know if he let me see it on purpose, but it's all I know. The name was Oratheim. Some cave over in Yarmarch. I'd look for him there.
Then what are we still standing here for? Let's go!
them?
What do you need, friend? You still thinking? Just leave me all the food. Sod was no different than the rest. It's like waiting all day to eat a bowl of Horker stew and tasting chicken on your tongue instead.
Food, food, food. It is always about food with you, isn't it? We were friends once, right? Say something nice.
You mean like a speech or something? I ain't so good at that. But I guess now that he's dead, there ain't no point being raw. Jashar, you and me didn't always see eye to eye. I mean, you weren't all bad, but just enough where I couldn't let it slide. Rest easy.
No, that wasn't so hard, was it?
Harder than killing him, that's for sure. That's the end of it. One less double-crossing, scheming pit dog in the world. Now it's time to find something to eat. Zora's right. Ain't much I like to do, other than killing folks and eating Horkers. Since we got one out of the way, all I can think about is the other. When you fight in the arena, pretty much every day you're saying goodbye to somebody. So you sort of don't get too attached. Jashar was about as close to a friend I had in the arena, but it still wasn't all that close. It ain't like with me and you and Princess over there. We're never going to be on opposite ends of that cage. That's the way I like it. Living outside the pit. We're free to go whichever way the bandit blows. I'm just glad to have you along for the ride. Let's go. Bandits. I love killing bandits. Probably my second favorite thing in the world. Or third. Killing sellswords is right up there, too. Just leave me all the food. Let's go. Some of the guards back there were saying this place is ran by money. I don't like it. Had enough of that business in the arena.
What do you need? My thing. Honor to you, my thane.